is your life. Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. You can't beat death, but you can beat death in life. And the more often you learn to do it, the more light there will be. There are ways out. There is a light somewhere. If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is. Your life is your life. Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. Beyond the watch, there are ways out. There is a light somewhere. It may not be much light, but it beats the darkness. Beyond the watch, the gods will offer you chances. Know them. Take them. You can't beat death, but you can beat death in life, sometimes. And the more often you learn to do it, the more light there will be. Your life is your life. Know it while you have it. You are marvelous. The gods wait to delight in you. If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is.
Yeah, the new intro.
We're live.
Shout out to everybody who's tuned in. Let us know what you think of the new aesthetic. Bill and I have been grinding behind the scenes to create more of an overall branded feel to Manifest Lifestyles and the Lost in the Sauce show project. So, as you can see, the background's different. We have a new starting screen. We have some new functionality that's been added to the show. We hope you guys like it. It took me a bunch of man hours to do all this. I was sort of testing it behind the scenes while the intro was playing. And if you see right now on the live screen on the right hand side, you have your chat box. And I don't think that it's actually rendering chat from the show just yet, but that will be the added feature for next week's show. I'll have to figure out how to do that. But essentially, any of the chat that's in the show will pull up actually live on the screen so everybody can see what's going on, which is really nice. I think you guys can see what I type in the computer, but as far as getting the actual chat from YouTube embedded into the stream, that will be what we're adding. So you guys kind of have an idea what that big blank space is for, and it all starts to make more sense. But tell us what you think. Let us know in the comments what you think of the new aesthetic. We have sort of a black and white feel that we're going with, matches the headphones, and I can keep tweaking and playing with it a little bit more. But I think it's much more improved from what we used to have. Not that what we used to have was bad, but I definitely like this vibe better. We got a couple more surprises, more stuff that we've added to the show. We'll get into it when we get into our topics. But thank you guys again for tuning in. Bill has this up as a test, but we will actually be doing a show tonight. Let me know. We're having some audio issues last week. Let me know if the audio sounds good.
We still are.
We're still having audio issues.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to talk a little bit to see if I sound the same. So let me know if
How
I
can
sound.
you hear if that doesn't?
I don't hear. Someone wrote me.
Your
My wife wrote me.
that the audio still sounds shitty.
She said that yours sounds very echoey, like you're in a bathroom.
See, those are my filters.
Those are the filters.
That's why I
So
have my filters on.
go ahead and try filter now.
Audio check, audio check, audio check. Audio check, audio check, audio check. Should I sing to you? Should I sing to you, audience? Should I sing to the audience lost in the sauce audio test?
Okay, so we're going to have a little... She said I sound good.
Bill always sounds good. Both on microphone and in real life, Bill sounds
Okay,
great.
hold on. Let me do a test right now. So start talking.
Audio check, audio check, audio check, lost in the sauce. Episode we lost count a while ago.
Okay, take off your headphone. And listen to yourself. Talk a little bit more.
Audio check, audio check.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, there's an echo.
Yeah.
Echo in the chat.
Sorry, everybody. Just a little bit so we can get this going the right way. Because in our headphones, we sound fine.
Tell me if that changed anything, better or worse. Audio check, audio check, audio test, lost in sauce. Ba 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 ba. Any better? Any better? Any better, 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 better. What do you think?
No, you're still. Wait, hold on. You haven't said check now.
Anything better, check, check. Is it better? Is it worse?
I'm
Is the
waiting.
microphone better or worse? Mm-hmm. We're live. last week we were cutting in and out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like bad cell service.
So just talk and talk some more. Yeah, just go on a 10-second rant like you normally would talk.
I love audio technical issues.
Yeah. It's big time. I'm talking, babe. I'm talking. You know, all I gotta say is how much my wife is the greatest wife in the world.
Absolute greatest.
Don't know what I would do without her. She's just wonderful, wonderful. Don't sing LOL. Say, hope you guys had a great week. We'll start officially soon.
Happy 4th of July. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, but that it's picking it up.
It's called feedback
Okay.
loop.
Mine sounds good. I need you to talk.
Bill needs me to talk. Why does Bill's fucking microphone sound great and mine sounds like shit? You have no filters, property, everything looks good.
Here, we're about to hear you.
Yeah.
Much better. You're not echoing.
A little better.
Okay. But
Yeah, it just says you both good now. Awesome. Thank you, Noah, for doing that.
thank our audio technician from
By way of Tel Aviv, Israel. Where's she from? Originally in Israel?
well, her mom lives up in the hills, but she's from Tel Aviv. Yeah,
Tel Aviv. That was a good guess. It's the only place I know in Israel.
it's the only place to go in Israel.
It's freaking hot as shit. Let me get a little AC going, and then we'll do our meditation, and we'll jump right in. Thank you for the feedback, Noah. We appreciate that.
Thanks,
helps
babe.
a lot. What do you think of the new aesthetic, by the way? Of the new background, of the new show? Excuse me. Let's get this AC cranking. I'm in a freaking sweatshirt. I don't have to change clothes mid-show. So the mics may pick up that AC a little bit, but we should be good. Alright. Right on, right on, right on. Alright, so thank you guys for bearing with us during our infancy. And eventually I can hire someone to do this. Which adds me to my new point. Eventually we're gonna have a donation button so we can pay for the show.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure Brian, if you're watching, loves to hear that. So it's something I figured out in another software program. It's something I will be able to figure out within a couple hours to sort of embed. It's just all coding bullshit if you know anything about it, but adding that functionality to YouTube versus Twitch versus Facebook, it's all different codes. And so being able to add that sort of functionality to YouTube is sort of the next step, but I have figured it out on other software platforms, other social media and streaming platforms. So it won't be a huge jump, but eventually we'll have like notifications for followers and subscriptions and donations and input and cheering and all sorts of cool stuff, which is nice. But I'm definitely not an audio technician. Definitely not a video technician. I'm not a software engineer, but for
You got this all working.
yeah, to get through, you know, I mean, freaking probably close to 30 hours of just computer work, coding, research, YouTube, tutorials, all sorts of stuff to get to where we're at. I'm pretty happy with it, and obviously the finished product will evolve over time. But I'm excited about what the show is and or what it's going to be in the future, definitely. I'm just excited that I got all this shit done. That's what we were doing last week, by the way. Instead of doing a show, I made all of this stuff in the background. It took me about 6 hours to do this one, and then I had another project, similar project, doing all the coding stuff. I probably spent 18 hours on it last week. But we're getting there. Bear with us, we are getting there. So with that being said, we might as well just get into it. And go ahead and start the show. So Bill, I know you're typing and texting away, and I know you got a full life ahead of you.
No,
Anything important?
it's
you
about
need
the
to get out
show.
there before we start.
It's about the show.
All right, cool. Thank you, Star Child, for the feedback. I think I know who Star Child is. I'm not sure if I showed you this. I know I showed you my Twitch stuff for Killshot, but this is all the stuff I was doing for Lost in the Sauce. I think the aesthetic came out perfect. And we got some other cool sort of functionality we're going to talk about in a bit. Well, at least we'll show you. I don't know if it necessarily all needs to be introduced. But this is the new feel of the show for now. And I'm fucking fired up. What's that?
That's what we look like.
Whatever. That's fine.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, it looks good. Right here. This is what I have pulled up, right?
Yeah, that's
So
what
that
I
looks-
think it looks like too.
It looks pretty good. And whether it's on bad reception or 5G versus Wi-Fi versus cell phone.
I think it looks awesome.
4K. I think.
Yeah, this is us.
Yeah, I think it looks.
This is on my phone. But that's what it looks like. That's big.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Yeah.
I could use it. I need to trim my beard. I know that. Anyway. You always look good, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Always. You got a little color. Kicked Bill's ass in golf over the weekend. We'll do our meditation, then we can get into the weekend. But as is tradition with the Lost in the Sauce show, Bill and I are going to take just a quick, we got down to 10 seconds at this point, just to get centered, a little mindfulness meditation. And if you care to join us at home, you're more than welcome to. If not, we will get rolling shortly. How you feeling?
It really is amazing how just breathing can just calm you down.
Bro, I feel like I say this all. That's just all I take.
It's so crazy.
I'm like, just do service work, like help people and breathe, and like life gets like really easy.
It's that simple.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say. You know what? Life doesn't get easy. The stress and the relationship to the stress of life gets manageable.
Yeah, when I stress, which is all the time, I sit back and breathe for 30 seconds to a minute, and so much better. And I can get stuff done.
Mm-hmm. It really helps with impulsivity.
Uh-huh.
So we have impulse control issues. People who are in recovery, we lack impulse control. So I see it, I want it. It's like bright lights of Vegas, right? And we get triggered to act impulsively, be it from, oh, it was a great thing that happened, it's a bad thing that happened, left, sideways, whatever. And then automatically we just go straight into this impulsive reactionary behavior. And for us, the coping skill, right, the symptom, it could be drug use, it could be an eating disorder, it could be whatever. We just jump into that behavior because that's what we know is a safety thing, and there's a whole developmental psychology component to it. But once we reprogram that impulse control and learn to like take a second, right, to just either breathe and get centered, and then you kind of have the logic, reasoning brain sort of show up, and then hop into like conflict resolution, problem solving. It makes total sense.
Yeah, no, I'm guilty of it.
So we got a good show. This is the first show since the holiday, and we kind of always go through a little check-in, see how everyone's doing, see how you guys are doing, see how the audience is doing. If you guys had a good Fourth, we'd love to hear about it. But Bill, how about you? How was your holiday weekend?
Great weekend, great week. Got a day off, which was beautiful.
Yeah,
my
Thursday
birthday
and Friday.
I actually worked Friday and very busy, but Thursday was my birthday, my birthday, July 4th. That was fun. Went surfing, which I invited you to, which was fun. Went with my wife and my kid and one of our family friend, and it was just fun being on the beach and just being in the water. Just so great. And then went to a nice lunch down on the beach. I won't give this place a shout out because the lunch was horrible. Yeah, surprisingly, first time I'd been there, and I've seen it many times. Can I say it?
Yeah, you can say whatever.
Yeah, Jeffries
It's
on
kind of
PCH.
vague. Fuck Jeffries.
Yeah, Jeffries.
Never been there.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah,
I like PCH.
Yeah, I've driven by there many times, and I want to go there, and it was horrible.
It was also July 4th. Were they like super slammed?
No, and I thought that was going to be the case, and they weren't, and that should have kind of given me They should have given me a warning that there wasn't packed. But yeah, I went that and then watched fireworks over at Santa Clarita. They had it at the mall. Just everyone sitting out on the ground and all over the mall. So that was fun. Turned 44. Good one.
How does it feel to have a 44th birthday?
I actually like 44 better than 43.
Well, it's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't. After I guess 40, it doesn't really. Maybe 50 will hurt.
I have a feeling like 46 because you're after your mid 40s and now you're late 40s,
yeah.
which means you're almost 50.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, even this is the age, or between 43 and 44 is the age that I always picture my mom as being for some reason. Like that, my mom's 43, even if she was 50, 63, I always, she's 43.
Yeah.
That was always the age. Now I'm that age. So that's a little trippy.
Absolutely.
Like I'm old.
You're seasoned.
I'm old. I could be a grandfather right
You're
now.
wise beyond your age.
It's nuts.
I mean, technically, you'd be pretty young to be a grandfather at 44, but...
Well, my son's 26.
If you did the math and was like,
My son's 26, so I could easily be a grandfather right
How
now.
old were you? I don't want to do the
17.
math. 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, 17. You guys talk at all for your birthday?
Yeah, I actually talked a little bit to him yesterday. Finally,
Was
we
it good?
text
Yeah.
on the birthday.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have my phone on me when I was surfing, so I don't go on Facebook. I'm sure that's where everybody wrote happy birthday and all that stuff. That's the only way I know anybody's birthday anymore. It's so bad.
Well, it's kind of cool because it gives you a reminder.
Yeah.
Like, so-and-so's birthday's tomorrow. Don't be a dipshit.
I never
Forget
check
yourself.
Facebook, so now, I miss everybody's birthdays.
Oh, maybe check Facebook. Try Twitter.
So yeah, my weekend was, and then I played golf on Sunday and kicked everybody's ass in the front nine, and then got my ass handed to me in the back nine, and I ended up losing.
So your Noah's asking you to tell about the sad experience on the 4th. People arriving 2 hours before the fireworks show. No music, no food, no nothing.
Oh
Just
well,
quietly
she thinks it's sad. Okay, so we can get into this a little bit, I guess. My wife's from Israel, and they have their own Independence Day.
Mhm.
Their Independence Day is kind of like Mardi Gras. So everyone's out on the streets and bands are playing and they're really celebrating. And so when we get there, everyone's just kind of sitting around. One guy was playing some Kid Rock with his family, but it was just kind of quiet, mellow. There's tons of people, but everyone's just kind of sitting
It's
around.
not even like a party. It's
No,
kind of
not a party
awkward,
at all.
yeah.
It was just like a bunch of people in one place sitting there, not even talking to each other, just kind of. She thought it was real boring. I'm like, I had no problem with it. I don't want to talk to all these people.
Yeah.
You know, when I drank and I partied, cool, I'd want to probably talk to everybody. But now I don't want to. I don't want to sit and chat with people I don't know about nonsense. So, but yeah, so for her, it was like real boring. She's like, you guys don't even care about your Independence Day. What's wrong with you?
I need more pride.
I said, well, babe, we've been doing it for 200 more years than you guys. I mean, it's kind of played out with us now.
What's up with what about Sonny? Did you bring him for fireworks?
Oh, yeah.
And
Sonny loved it. No,
how old's Sonny?
I
3?
can't,
2
he's
or
almost
3?
3. He'll be 3 in October
And he was
in September.
with loud noises, and how was that?
No, he was looking at him, but I think I don't know if he was scared. I don't know what it was. He was putting his head on my chest, but he was watching. So I was holding him, and he just laid his head right here. But he was watching the fireworks, but he wasn't excited about it or
He was all
anything.
like, whoa.
He was before he knew what was going on. We're like, fireworks. He's like, fireworks, fireworks. And then when they happened, he was kind of like, cool. Yeah, I'm done.
Freaking kids.
Can't please him.
Nope.
But
Just like
all you got to do is give him this little tow truck thing that he has, and he's happy as can be.
He didn't even give a shit.
That's all he needs.
We don't need fireworks. Just give me the tow truck,
Yeah.
and we're good to go.
How was your
So, yeah,
weekend?
before let's back up for a second. We talked a little bit about golf on Sunday. So wait, go step back for a second. What happened?
So the front nine,
I forget sometimes.
The front
I can
nine-
be forgetful.
front nine, I was 7 over. So I was doing very well. And then I must have twisted my ankle or something.
Oh, you got the injury report.
I don't know. My wrist hurt.
It hurt your back.
And yeah, somehow you crushed me in the back nine to take the day.
I got you by 2 strokes. I did birdie.
But I was up by 2
16
strokes, so
or
you
something.
you picked up 4 strokes on me in the back 9.
Yeah. I don't know if Jason's gonna watch this, but Jason would be proud of me. I shot a 94, and I've been golfing for let's call it 6 months now. And I went from shooting maybe 130, 120 to 105 to be in the mid 90s, and that was with a quadruple bogey. For those of you who don't know golf, that's 4 strokes over par, which is absolutely like terrible. And 1 quad and 2 triples. So that is, I mean, give or take an extra. Even if I was just playing bogey golf on those holes or double bogey golf, I mean, I could have picked up 4 or 5 strokes easily just off of those 3 holes. So, like the 80s, I have not broken into the 80s yet, be it 89 to 80, whatever. I have not broken into the 80s yet, but I'm absolutely capable of breaking into the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Which for me is pretty wild because I've been playing less golf. I've been streaming a lot. I've been doing a lot of Xbox streaming and having fun doing that. And that's how I learned a lot of this stuff is just by streaming the Xbox. Got you into a little bit of Red Dead Redemption 2. Remember we talked about it like months ago? I was like, this game is such a big deal in GTA, and gave you some stats.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 is actually a really, really good game. And not a typical game that I would enjoy, but for Bill's play style, he's got an Xbox, and I was like, yo, check this game out, and he seems to be having fun with it. But yeah, I've been streaming a lot, so I haven't been golfing nearly as much. So I'm trying to take pressure off myself and be like, okay, Ryan, like if you have a bad hole, like it's okay. Like it's going to be expected. You haven't been playing every single day, 5 times a day. And I played pretty well. And the front 9 was sort of a disaster. I ended up being 11 over, and I was actually 11 over on the back 9 too, because that's where I got my quad. But my putting got a lot better. I mean, driver was kind of all over the place, but not terrible. And that birdie was nice. I hadn't had a birdie in a while. And
that was a nice birdie.
Yeah, it was like 6
7 feet.
Yeah, 6 feet, 6, 7 feet for bird. And I just took the pressure off. I was like, you know what? Just hit the
over
ball.
The sand.
Yeah. The approach shot was nice. So yeah, golfing was great. My weekend was good. 4th of July for me, I'm not a big like let's go out and do some crazy thing. And like I used to be like that. So in Newport, where I grew up in Orange County, the 4th is like huge. And they shut down the roads, and it's like a drunk, bicycle, scooter, freaking skateboard on this beach and the boardwalk, right?
So it's probably more what she's talking about.
There's probably like, shit, man, within that little 5-mile peninsula, probably 1,000 house parties, maybe more. Maybe
some music's
5,000.
blaring.
Like
people
every
rocking.
house has got, like, especially on the boardwalk too.
Yeah.
Like if you're not celebrating on the boardwalk, it's crazy. And I've had that experience. I've done the 4th at Isla Vista in Santa Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
The similar vibe. A little cold up there. I mean, I'm a skinny guy, so I get cold real easily. But if you want that sort of blowout experience, I think Newport and Huntington are going to be pretty cool. I've never done Venice Boardwalk. I'd imagine that's just insane. Like, my thinking now is, like, traffic is so bad in LA that, like, I'm going to avoid traffic. So when you're like, hey, let's go surfing, there's waves, but it's 4th of July... And it's at Leo Carrillo, which has 1 point.
1 point.
With, like you said, at like 40 guys.
Yeah, at the point.
I was like, there's just no way, like, that sounds like a good surf experience for me. But apparently you picked off some waves. And
yeah, no, because when it was big and it happened to be, it was about 4 to 5, maybe 4 to 6. And it has that rock on the outside. So if it hits that rock, it creates a whole nother section that you could... get a nice ride out of.
Pick off waves,
yeah.
And you're not fighting over the main peak.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people like run over each other.
Oh yeah,
and it's freaking sketchy out there. So I was at the house. I have a rooftop deck here in the building, so I can watch fireworks from up there. So I was checking that out. I have the cat too, so I was trying to like make sure that she was okay. So I would just like I turned on like an action movie that kind of had like loud noises. So if there was like a bang, that like she wouldn't be all off, set off by it. But it was pretty good. Crazy. Obviously, you were in California. Anyone who's in Southern California, we had those crazy earthquakes.
Yeah.
So the 4th, I believe the one on the 4th of July was in the morning. It was like 10:30.
I was in the water.
Yeah, it was like 10:30.
Yeah.
I was here at the house and I felt it, and I thought it was kind of funny. I shouldn't. It's probably not as funny as I thought it was, but like being like, whoa, we're shaking, and like I thought it was kind of cool. And people were like calling and like, are you okay? Oh my God, I heard you just got hit by a 6.4 or whatever. And then the next day, I think it was Friday, there was a bigger one. And I was
Yeah,
like,
that one I felt.
yeah, I was actually in a party. I don't know if I was streaming, but I was talking to my buddy playing Xbox, and I'm like, I'm in a freaking like, as we're speaking, I'm in an earthquake right now, and I was in the chair I'm sitting in right now when we're doing the show, and all the monitors and the cameras, and we got these big old. You know what might be causing my echo? That microphone, that speaker.
You know what? While you're over there,
I didn't even think about that.
we could intro one of the new products on here.
I didn't even think about that. That might be my culprit right there. Anyway.
Put in California, earthquake, pool. You have to see this video. Show the video.
I'll show the video in a second. So the one on the 5th was at like, I think it was nighttime, 6 or 7 p.m.
I think it was like 8:30.
8:30. Yeah, nighttime.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking around. I got freaking a lot of equipment in here, and shit's like shaking. It's all kind of up high too. The speakers are on like little platforms, and the microphones and everything is like kind of moving around. I'm like, oh shit! Like if something falls, like we're talking thousands of dollars of shit just falling out of the ground. Yeah. So no, I think I may have just solved the problem. Let me know in the comments if it got any better. We had one of our studio monitor speakers playing, and it would be playing my voice, and it would be coming out of the speaker. Since I have headphones on, I couldn't hear it, and it's probably being picked up in the mic, creating that echo. So maybe it got better, maybe it didn't. If not, I'll have to go back to the drawing board and fix all this stuff next week again. But I thought the earthquakes were kind of exciting, kind of fun.
Were you here for the Northridge quake?
I was
you were
baby.
young.
Yeah,
You were young.
Oh, I remember it.
Okay.
Was it like 92,
92.
Yeah, something like that.
So those quakes, the plates were going this way, and it causes things to break and crack. There's a conspiracy about these, but these were.
I love this one. Yeah, but go ahead.
These were rollers. It was
Yeah.
like a wave,
Mhm.
and even my wife hadn't felt an earthquake before, like little tiny aftershocks. But she was upstairs and I was downstairs, and I was like, this isn't a quake. This is something else going, because this is way too smooth.
Mhm.
Like my light was just going like this, but everything was it was like, go with it. Just go with it and you're good. I've never felt earthquake, and I've lived here my whole life, and I've felt thousands of earthquakes. I've never felt an earthquake like that.
I felt like little ones, like little shakes here and there, and not long. That second one was kind of long.
Oh, yeah.
I was like kind of
30 seconds.
Time to be like, I'm in an earthquake. Pull out my phone, film like a really good chunk of it, and like be like, holy shit, like we're still going. Like,
Yeah, I was downstairs feeling it, and then I was like, okay, this will end soon. It didn't. I had to walk back. I walked upstairs because that's where my son and wife were, and I was like, okay, you guys get under the doorway, and it kept going. I'm like, okay, so I just walked up, and I'm like, it's still going, and we're just shaking along. I'm like, wow.
I didn't even move, bro. I didn't even flinch. I had a blast. I was just kind of like, all right, hopefully my monitors and shit, everything's come falling down. But I went and found the cat. She was hiding under the bed, and I gave her a little love. And I had a little bit of water from the fish tank spill over.
Uh-huh.
But aside from that, like, I remember checking like the paintings on the walls. Like nothing was really. I mean, I'm also in like a, I don't know, if it's technically a high rise, but I'm in a taller building. Like
Yeah.
A full building, pretty new construction. It's not like my floor that I'm standing on is not on the ground.
No, I think you might be on rollers.
But like the building itself was still shaking a bit. But
Yeah.
nothing crazy. I thought it was fun. Definitely the biggest earthquake I've experienced as an adult living in California, which I thought was kind of exciting. I'm sure we have some people out there who experienced it as well. Yeah, she says my audio is still shit, but whatever are we gonna do? As long as you can hear me. I know last week it was just coming in and out like bad cell reception, but this is all stuff I can go ahead and try to fix behind the scenes. But with that being said, we'll just sort of trudge through and make it work. You got something important?
Yeah, it's as time goes by. Condenser? Don't know what that means. Condenser mic?
It's an XLR mic. They're both the mics that both Bill and I are using are identical. Everything from the software, any filters, the actual hardware itself. So the preamp that both the mics are connected to are absolutely identical. So there, in theory, shouldn't be any difference between what his mic is doing and what my mic is doing. Even the volume, every level, everything's identical. So it could be just a software glitch, and like restarting the software may clear out some of that audio stuff. Because when I use these mics to stream on Twitch, I don't have any of these issues. And I've listened to clips and feedback and all that, so it could just be a software like buggy type of thing.
So that's good.
Yeah, but your mic, my mic, they're essentially identical. So hopefully it gets better, hopefully not.
Sorry for interrupting that.
No, it's okay. We appreciate all of the feedback. If things are getting worse, better, we want to know. Last week was so bad. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I don't watch the show back. I don't know why.
That was a great show, too.
I can't help but, like, maybe I think my voice is cringy, or maybe because it's my voice, I'm, like, kind of hard on myself, but I just can't watch the shows back. But Bill played it for me and was like, dude, the audio is fucking terrible. And, of course, my heart sank because I thought it was a pretty good show. But we'll trudge through. Like I said, we're still sort of figuring this stuff out. And I think we've come a long way.
Yeah.
From, like, day one. Remember, we were recording it. We didn't want to go live. We were really nervous. But now I think we can get through a live show and have good flow. And I think it's been definitely an upward trajectory, so to speak.
All right. So, speaking of the weekend, women, U.S. World Cup team won the gold.
I thought that's pretty cool.
Thought it was awesome.
But then it turned into a fucking shit show.
Except,
You want to explain it?
yeah, there's a player on the team, Megan Rapinoe. I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly or not. She is a anti-Trump person, and she hasn't been putting her hand on her heart during the Pledge of Allegiance, or not the Pledge of Allegiance. What do you call it?
Star-Spangled Banner.
Yeah. So she's been kind of doing the Colin Kaepernick thing, trying to prove a point that she doesn't approve of this administration's
Social justice.
Yeah, she's a SJW, social justice warrior. So now I don't mind her doing that, and I love it. Freedom of speech, let everybody say what they want to say, but you're representing the United States to the world at this tournament that happens, every 4 years? And for you to promote your anti-American way, that's what I consider an anti-American way, I think it's just the most ridiculous platform to use to put the flag on the floor and try to step on it. Luckily, there was a girl, I don't know her name. I've seen it a few times.
Grab it.
She went and she grabbed it before they really did anything too bad. But like, that's not the place, the time, or the place to get your message out. Don't go to the White House. There, people will cover that. Oh, she's not going to the White House because she doesn't like his politics. Fine, but not on that stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's crazy.
I think if it was more so, like Colin Kaepernick thing. There's obviously clearly some similarities in the situation. So Colin Kaepernick is a local phenomenon. He is playing in the NFL. There is a number of teams that are represented by both city and state, and his display was for an American audience. But once you go to a global audience, I think that's the big difference that I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
That she's not just representing, like Colin Kaepernick was representing San Francisco 49ers. She's representing the entire country of America, right? And if you're playing with the American flag on your back, you should have some respect for just the symbolism there, right?
Yeah.
You may not agree with the policies. You might not need to be waving the flag and joining in on this celebratory moment, but a disrespectful gesture like dropping the flag on the ground and kind of like, fuck this, I thought was a bit inappropriate. I, too, am all for free speech and get your message out there. And maybe that was what she was thinking, is that this is the biggest platform I'm going to ever have, this camera right in front of me, like maybe this is where I take my shot. But I personally wouldn't have gone about it that way, even if I disagreed with everything that, this administration stood for.
Yeah.
It felt like a classless move.
It was.
You know what I mean? And the Kaepernick thing, there's so many. You're talking about 4th of July. His whole thing got brought up even before the women's soccer team is, him taking the kneel and losing his football career, and then the Nike stuff, and then there was some endorsement that they were going to do a Betsy Ross edition shoe, and then there was even more talk about it, and then you had everyone else, 4th of July talking about the sacrifice and the Independence Day of the country. the veterans who have given their lives and the people like Colin Kaepernick, although he's standing up for his right to free speech, are kind of shitting on the sacrifices that people have made to create, the country that we know today. So like, do you get your opinions out there? I just thought that this particular setting was a little distasteful in my opinion. And I don't agree with everything that happens and all the shit we have going on these days, but I probably would have gone about it a little bit different way.
I hope so.
That's just me. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it. Let us know what you think. Maybe you completely missed it, but it was very cool. Congratulations to the U.S. women's soccer team for winning. I thought that was fucking awesome. Yeah. It's been, frick, how many years since it's been a while.
Since they won?
Yeah.
I think it was, didn't they win the last one?
I don't know if they won the last
or was it the one before that?
I remember the video, the clip of the girl running. She takes her shirt
shirt
off, and like everyone was freaking out.
Has it been that long?
She showed like a sports bra.
Yeah.
Anyway, Holly Holm, or I forget.
That's the fighter.
Anyway, she got knocked out, didn't she?
Oh, I didn't see the fights this weekend.
Did, yeah.
So you just...
I didn't watch the fight, but she got... I know that she lost. I saw the...
Well, I figured she was gonna. That was a good one. That was Did you see the fastest knockout in UFC history?
No.
Yeah, a guy, I think his name is Street Jesus. That's his nickname, obviously. Went out, flying knee. Knocked the dude out in 5 seconds. Street Jesus, because he looks like Jesus.
That's dope. Shout out to Street Jesus in the fastest knockout
in
history.
5 seconds.
So we have a couple other important topics to discuss. You guys may have heard we have some huge stuff going on with the whole pedophilia thing that's coming to the forefront of the news. Jeffrey Epstein, I know Bill Clinton has been sort of created as like the focal point for a lot of discussion. And to go into a little bit more, we actually have something queued up, and this is another thing that we added to the show, since you guys have seen us, is the ability to pull up videos and play them in the show. So this is a little bit about the Jeffrey Epstein thing, and these are... this is a Miami Herald investigation. They talk a little bit about what's going on. So maybe you missed it, maybe you didn't. But let's go ahead and check it out.
We were underage. We were little girls.
That's when he said, okay, you can go ahead and take off your shirt and pants, but you can stay in your underwear.
By the time I was 16, I brought him up to 75 girls, all the ages of, 14, 15, 16.
He wanted new, fresh, young faces every single day.
He's probably the most prolific pedophile. I mean, to have abused this many young girls for this many years and have gotten away with it.
He's already proven he has enough power to shut even the government down. The government's on his side.
This guy is big time. He knows people that know people that know people.
This is probably the most unjust outcome of any case that I've been involved in 40 years.
I assert my federal constitutional rights as guaranteed by the 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendments.
He needs to be behind bars. He needs to be behind bars for the rest of his life. There is way too many girls for him not to be. That's just mind-blowing.
Somebody said LOL fur pants in the background.
What, the cat?
I don't know.
Is the cat in the background? So we've added the ability to bring in, we'll get into the Epstein thing, but from a coding and a podcast point of view, we've added the ability to be able to pull up clips, present them to you guys, and create a discussion, which is what we just watched just now, about Jeffrey Epstein. So I thought that was pretty fucking cool. Not the Jeffrey Epstein thing, but the ability to pull up a clip and create a conversation. It's just making a more interactive forum for us to have a discussion, build our community. So we can pull up anything. So if someone's like, oh, I got a link in the chat, and I can pull that up and the whole thing. Just try not to troll me super hard when you put up a link. Bill had a link suggestion earlier that was inappropriate. Can't be playing that live on TV. But yeah, so what thoughts on the Epstein thing? Obviously, it's a fucking mess.
It's a huge mess, and it's coming down to where it's trickling upwards to a lot of bigger people. Like that video showed, I think there was Clinton was on there, even Trump was on there, even though Trump's kind of been cleared of that from the lawyers and stuff. lots of celebrities, and there's
Did I see Spacey? I saw
yeah, Kevin Spacey's on there, Chris Tucker. There's actually a black what is it, like a black book that he has that people have gotten a hold of that has presidents, princes, prime ministers, Kennedys, like all sorts of names that are supposed to be affiliated with this whole thing. And this has been a conspiracy theory for many years.
Yeah, this has been like a...
And it's one of those things because, you know, we both are conspiracy theorists. Chris is
crazy person.
Chris is also a huge conspiracy theorist. And this is starting to come true.
Yeah.
So we're starting to get a little validation on all the stuff we've always talked about for the last year and a half or whatever. And there's that video is just the short video. There's a longer one, and there's 75 or more 14 to 16-year-old girls that have been brought into it. And supposedly what's been going on is Epstein's been filming people and blackmailing them. There's another case where the mansion that Epstein lives at, right, or in the New York one where they raided, was given to him. It's worth, $70 million. Jeez. Was given to him by the owner of Victoria's Secrets, who supposedly he has some film with him and a young girl or young boy, who knows what it is.
Well, use it as blackmail.
Using it as blackmail.
Wow.
And nobody can figure out how he even got his money, how he got his wealth. But this is it's kind of all just coming together. All these stories that have been out there for years are starting to come together, and it's looking bad for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Q's been going on. If you guys know about Q, he's been talking about this for a couple of months now, and sort of, I mean, I don't know if you want to call it predictive. It sounds like he's already got inside information that this is going to happen. So he's been saying, like, hey, here comes the indictments, here comes the pedophile stuff, all the rings, Clintons, Epstein, all this stuff. And I don't know the correct number of sealed indictments. I want to say it's in the thousands, if not
10,000s. Yep.
Of people who are going to be going down, who are connected with this whole... Apparently it's like a secret island.
Oh, yeah.
It's like an underground...
Well, the island's not secret. He owns this island.
Yeah, he owns the island.
But yeah, there's like underground bunkers everywhere.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of Bohemian Grove stuff and sort of this archaic secret society symbolism and rituals and all
devil
sorts
worship
of
stuff.
really
like
creepy shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the crazy stuff you see in movies, how you don't think, oh, that that's so outlandish.
That's too far-fetched.
Too far-fetched. And the stuff's been going on, and I mean, in the conspiracies, it's a lot worse, drinking baby blood.
Yeah, people,
crazy stuff. But it makes you think that, wow, maybe all these outlandish claims, they have some bearing. You know what I mean? It's nuts. All this stuff going on is crazy. Bill Clinton even put out a press release saying that he has nothing to do with any of this. He's only been on the plane 4 times, and he's never been to what they call Pedo Island. There's
real name for it, yeah.
But it's called Pedo Island, and there's already pictures that surfaced of him at Pedo Island with all these other people, and there's pictures of him with this girl Chandler, who's really involved in this whole thing, and this thing is involved with that Nixon trial too. That I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct.
No, Watergate.
No, NXIVM.
Oh yeah.
The sex cult. Mm-hmm. So this is linked into that. So literally, and if you do watch Q, this is just not even the tip of it. It's at the bottom, and it's working its way up. These aren't the head honchos. Like the head honchos are about to get in trouble. Mm-hmm. So it's crazy. This is stuff that you wouldn't think is happening, only in movies, not in real life.
As someone who's like a conspiracy theorist guy, like a lot of the stuff, like when it comes to secret societies and secret rituals, you're talking about like Rothschilds and Rockefellers and Kennedys and like names that are so powerful that they're almost immune to prosecution in a way, because like they have that much pull, be it in the banking cartels and all this stuff. So to see like names of that much significance coming out, like for me, I totally thought this stuff was going on for many, many years, but it was also like these people are so powerful, there's absolutely no way anyone's getting caught. and it was just theoretical. That like, oh, someone talked about, or someone had witnessed, or someone had seen. No hard evidence had surfaced. But when you're talking about these huge elite families, it's kind of like the conspiracy theorist in me is like, yeah, absolutely, it's going on, but there's no way anyone's gonna get prosecuted. They're so powerful.
Yeah.
Like these are the people who are the puppet masters of the entire government. So it's obviously going to be insane what happens, the rollouts, and people. And I mean, are we going to get a clip of Bill Clinton in handcuffs, like going to jail?
Well,
like,
I'll tell you,
like that, or is he going to get out of it? Some weird.
We're going to see some suicides coming up,
or some mysterious.
Yeah,
circumstances.
A lot of car accidents, suicides are
absolutely.
going to be coming up. There's a thing on YouTube about the Clintons and their trail of death.
I've seen that.
You've seen that?
It's freaking creepy.
It is so creepy.
Super creepy.
And and now
apparently there was a kill list for Bush, Obama, Clinton, everybody. They have like these. We'll get into this fringe conspiracy very briefly, but apparently, the theory is, I'm not going to say whether I subscribe to this or not, because although I am a bit of a loony, like I don't necessarily need to subscribe to everything, but what the theory says is that people who are going to be president somehow by way of like foresight, and when I say foresight, I mean like time travel technology, like weird, crazy, interdimensional shit, that they know who's going to be president. So there's a preparation stage that goes on. So like Bush Jr. when he was a kid was like told like, hey, you're going to be president. We need to fucking start cleaning up your act a little bit, and like this is how we know. So that preparation is a part of. These are the hurdles on your way to the Oval Office.
Gotcha.
So that list comes forward as like, these are the people who are in your way of becoming president, and that's where you have the car accidents and mysterious circumstances and things like that. So that's a theory. That's all I'm going to say about it, but that's sort of the basis of having these mysterious connections to the people who become president. Because apparently there's some way to predict it, and that they know, and okay, well, here's your, like I said, your hurdles that you need to get past. It could be a public disgrace of some sort. It could be a scandal that you need to avoid, or it could be this person, that person, governor, senator, whatever, Supreme Court justice or some shit. Or you have to graduate Harvard Law or whatever it is. They have a timeline, and they have this list of people that need to be essentially knocked off for them to be able to make this a sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy. But that's some more fringe stuff we get into next week. Let us know what you guys think about the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. I'm sure there's people in the chat who are much more knowledgeable about this than I am, or that Bill is. And we always love to hear your guys' your feedback. I think she's saying maybe she can hear Fur Pants meowing through the.
Oh, maybe.
Through the door.
I hear
Yeah, she's in heat. Thank you for that. That's amazing. She's been excommunicado from the bedroom for the past 2 nights because I just can't sleep, and it's crazy. Although she's very cuddly and very sweet and very precious, when she's in heat, she screams. It's like screaming, like this blood-curdling cat sound. She's not in pain, for anyone who knows, but she's extra snuggly and extra loud. So she's been excommunicado for the next foreseeable, for the next couple of days. So. Fast forwarding past the Epstein
Let's
stuff,
get some
to
good
have
stuff.
some good news in the media. Do you want to introduce the Jaden Smith?
Sure. So Jaden Smith is Will Smith and Jada Pinkett's youngest or oldest son.
I think he's the oldest.
I think he's the oldest son. Anyways,
their son.
He's just a good dude.
Yeah.
Just a good dude. He's given water to Detroit where they're having the problems with the pipes, free water. He's done these really good things, and now he
isn't he like 20 years old?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's like 20, 21 maybe.
Yeah.
So what he did was he bought a food truck. I don't know if it's a company or what it is, but I know there's at least one food truck. It's a vegan food truck, and he's going down a Skid Row and giving away meals to all the homeless now, just out of the kindness of his heart.
Yeah, just for free.
Just here's some food, man.
Yeah.
And here's healthy food.
Yeah.
Not just Burger King or McDonald's. It's like here's some good healthy vegan food and just being of service. You know what I mean? And it's good to see that because it's not all over the press. It's not it's not all over the mainstream media or anything. It's I've seen tidbits of it, and he's not trying to get press from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think we talked about it maybe with somebody else, but there's a guy who does videos of him giving him money to homeless
giving
people.
homeless
Yeah,
people like $100
and is he doing it for him or is he doing it for the
For the
likes?
clout,
And,
yeah.
and you know, and Jaden Smith seems to be doing it just because he's actually a good-hearted dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's it's good to see, especially out of somebody who could be messed up. I mean, growing up around everything that he's probably grown up around.
Just the industry.
Just the industry I'm talking about. Yeah, his parents obviously have raised him pretty good. You know what I mean? And they're huge actors, so that's something good to say. And they seem to have done a good job. And just, it's good to have good people. You don't see that, especially on the news. You always see the negative.
Absolutely.
And for something positive like this to come out of somebody who seems to be a really positive, good person, it's really good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. You see a lot of that about Keanu Reeves, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Keanu Reeves is like the secret Mother Teresa of our generation. And it kind of finds you, but he's like giving away money to like children's hospitals. I think he donated his entire salary from The Matrix to the crew. I think it was whatever one of the first, second, or third. I think it was the third one. He gave away all of what he made on that movie, so that every single person in the movie The Matrix of the crew became a millionaire. Which I was pretty cool. No one ever hears about this sort of thing. But as far as Jaden Smith, I think that Will and Pinkett have a huge piece in this. And every bit of content that I've seen on just Will Smith specifically, because he does a lot of motivational speaking stuff that is on YouTube, the guy's like really spot on. And you've never seen Will Smith caught up in some cheating scandal or some drug thing or going to rehab or, you know, acting some sort of way where it's, you know, distasteful or anything like that. And he seems to have sort of imprinted that on the next generation. And what's cool is someone like Jaden Smith, he's still very young and still very hip. So the kids who are his fans and the you know, little boys, little girls, whoever, they look up to him, and he's making this philanthropic, you know, service thing cool. Like, oh man, he's got, you know, he's riding around in a brand new freaking Bentley, or he's got, you know, gold diamonds in his teeth, and wow, he can dance and his music's really cool. But like at the end of the day, like his core values and the sort of that role model he's become, which is freaking wild to think that a 20-year-old, I don't know how old Jaden Smith is, put it in the chat if you guys know how old this kid is, but I think he's definitely under 22.
Yeah.
He's still a young kid, and he has stepped into this grown up role, right? His father was doing stuff like this maybe a couple years ago. He's only in his early 20s, maybe. He might even still be a teenager, and he's fucking doing this shit now. I've seen Jaden Smith do TED Talks, which I thought was really, really impressive. He had the environmental stuff. There's a whole bunch of other projects that he's done aside from just this one, feeding the homeless. So this is not like a new thing. It's not some cash grab that like, oh, he needs to be relevant because there's some album dropping. He like genuinely cares, and he's already made a shit ton of money of his own right. And his father and mother obviously come from very successful, you know, entertainment careers themselves. So he's just like making a movement. And I mean, similar to like what the show is, I mean, I'm not fucking Jaden Smith. I don't have millions of dollars to go donate to homeless people, but creating a community and a movement where things like service, mindfulness, you know, brotherly and sisterly love, like personal growth, like making those things attractive to the next generation. Like, yeah, I've been out there and made some really dumb mistakes. I've been in strip clubs throwing money. I've spent money, hundreds of thousands of dollars on cars and jewelry and stupid shit, and like played the cool guy, egocentric role very, very well. But today, like the shift, right, and what I find to be attractive in myself and in other people has changed so drastically. And, you know, things like service and meditation and eating right, although I don't eat right all the time. I still have my salami sandwiches here or there, and maybe even some marshmallow fluff. But that's really, at the end of the day, what it's all about, like the legacy that we're leaving. And not doing it for clout, like out there because you genuinely care, because in your heart, right, where we are here centered is like, yo, this is what I need to do because it makes me feel good to leave that imprint on my community. And for someone like Jaden Smith, who has such a huge following already, like little kids are going to absorb this stuff, and they may not understand it right out the gate. I mean, oh, that's corny or like whatever, but like him leaving that imprint is that's happening. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Kids are going to respond to this. They're going to be looking up to this type of behavior. I think another good example, very, very different, but there's a rapper, 21 Savage. He stopped wearing jewelry, right? Because he wanted to pass on that, like, hey, there's so many people in the hip-hop industry waste all their money on jewelry and popping bottles and all this stuff. And he's like, I'm investing my money into things like real estate, into businesses, into enterprising, so that like when this rap career thing ends, I will have something to fall back on, and I will have built wealth and money for succession as far as next generations, kids, grandkids, and all that. And like that was a good message to send to the community, that these little kids, when if they ever hit it big or they have a big check to come in, like, you know, yeah, you want to splurge and have a little fun, like that's cool.
Yeah.
But like, let's also be smart about this, right? And I think there needs to be more positive examples, and specifically in a lot of these communities, but in the hip hop community, where like someone made a mature decision and like, you know, made that public, like, hey, this is all fun and all, and like, you know, get it out of your system, but at the end of the day, like, we need to be mature about this and sort of grow up.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really, really cool.
Or they'll end up at my pawn shop pawning that jewelry.
Yeah, or you shout out to NoHo Pawn. What's the website?
NoHoPawn.com.
NoHoPawn.com, House of Pawn. You don't want to end up on Bill's doorstep selling for 10%.
I gotta say, I have some rappers that have come in and sold me some stuff.
We'll take the interest. You know, over at NoHo Pawn, we'll take the interest. But at the end of the day, we don't want repeat customers. We'll get you out of a bind. You need a payday advance. We got you. But like, let's. I mean, I don't want to put you out of business by having this monologue right here.
No joke. No, people will always be stupid.
Yeah, the pawn shop's not going anywhere.
It'll be fine. But no, I actually do feel like I do service work at my work.
We talk about
this. And even people, they tell me, they're like, man, thank you so much. You know, I just needed that $200 so bad, and you helped me out, you know, with my crappy stereo or whatever it may be. Yeah, it actually does makes me feel good.
And the people who come in who kind of, you could tell, maybe have some chemical dependency issues.
Oh yeah, probably
kind of always
half
comes
of
out
them.
like, hey man, I've been in your shoes, I know what it's like.
I talk about my sobriety with them all the time, and where I've been, and how, you know, this is what they should try to do. This is what worked for me. And yeah, I get people all the time, literally, that come back in and we talk. I got people I talk to maybe an hour a day, just me and them talking, you know, about whatever. I have religious people coming in and we talk about stuff. I mean, I have every different type of person that comes in, but no, a lot of them obviously have some drug problems that come in and
or keep coming in every single day.
Yeah, and
I got some power tools. I got this ring. I got this. What do you do with the stereo?
His name's John White, and he has tools with Jose Escuardo written on them. Like, okay, bud, there you go. I can't do that. You know what I mean? But I turn them down, and I really do practice. I practice honesty with them, which is huge. Like, no, I can't do that for you, bud. But you're gonna have to figure it out on your own. You know, do I want to help them? Yeah, because I've been there. I've been there where I've stolen stuff and pawned it and, you know, stuff like that. Not in those exact situations, but I've done similar shit. And I want to help them, but I know that me giving them money isn't helping them. We've talked about this too. It's not giving them the chance to learn on their own that, okay, this isn't what I'm going to be able to do. I can't just go steal something and pawn it. He's not going to do it. Maybe someone else will, but at least he's not. And they come back. They still come back. You know, I've had people who've gotten cleaned up and come back. And they're like, thanks, bro. You know, whether you know it or not, you helped me. Just talking to me. Just, cool, man. It makes me feel good.
Oh, yeah. You're like Therapist Bill.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes Bill, Therapist Bill. What did I call you? Broadcast Bill? What's your new...
we got to come up with a better one.
Was it Broadcast Bill?
I think it was Beautiful Bill.
Beautiful Bill. Listen to this guy. I love it. 44 years young. Beautiful Bill. In front of the camera. Live. So, obviously, we've rambled on for quite a bit here. We'll probably save that topic we have right there on our...
sure?
On our digital cue cards for next week.
We can get a little bit into it.
And hopefully we'll get I don't want to just gloss over that because I think it's a great topic. So we'll probably save that for next week. But thank you guys for sticking around and giving us some feedback as far as our audio and video and all that stuff. Obviously the show's evolving. We got our whole new aesthetic and everything's sort of branded and looking cool, which is great. Or I think at least it looks cool. But with that being said, what do we got? What do we got to plug on the way out?
Houseofpawn.com. Kush Alley. What else do we got?
So we got giveaways. We got giveaways on the Facebook page. So we have Lost in the Sauce on Facebook. We have Lost in the Sauce on Twitter. And we have Lost in the Sauce on Instagram. Obviously, the show on YouTube, if you're tuned in right now, is the Lost in the Sauce show. So on each different milestone, as far as, I think on YouTube it's done by subscribers, but on things like Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, it's done by followers. We're going to have giveaways. So at 100, we'll do a giveaway. At 500, 1,000, etc., etc. So if you're not following us now, make sure to hit the follow button. Turn on post notifications. And I'm doing all the same stuff on the Killshot pages. I think if I move my chair, you can see my nifty
There
Twitter,
you
Instagram.
go. The bottom one is Facebook.
I think the bottom one is Facebook. I can't really tell. I'm blocking it. Anyway, so we have all the same stuff on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for Killshot CA, which is my, I guess, online personality name. But yeah.
Pawn Star LA.
Oh yeah, Pawn Star LA. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. But thank you guys so much for sticking around. Thank you again to let's do some shout outs on the way out. We had Star Child in the chat. We had Noah. We had Behind the Scenes Bill. We have Ilix is, I think you know Ilix. Ilui.
I don't know who that is.
Ilui. Sup. But shout out to all you guys for tuning in. Let us know what you thought of the show. Hopefully we'll get all this audio stuff and everything figured out for next week. But if you guys have comments, questions, or anything like that, please feel free to submit them to either Bill or myself. You can get a hold of us on any of the different pages that I just discussed, be it Facebook, Instagram. Obviously, you can just put a question in the comments, but maybe you wanted something to be done anonymously. Feel free to DM us any questions, comments, concerns, ideas for future segments, feedback. We love all of it. Maybe you hated it, maybe you loved it. We definitely want to hear from you, so we can, collectively grow as a community here at Lost in the Sauce and Manifest Lifestyles. With that being said, should we give them a little ride out music on the way out, or what?
Yeah.
Ride out? I just want to play with all the functions and all the buttons. But thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you next week. All right, peace.